America has a new hero, and she kicks butt. Join American Bliss in her exciting first issue, as she finds her way as the new champion of freedom.
Hey!
Hey!
Woo! Yes!
I didn't see the trailer yet. Awesome.
You haven't seen it yet? Oh yeah, yeah. We had to put that together the last day. Like we were still gathering art, and Eric, the artist, he put the trailer together last minute, really, and he actually made the drawing for it that you see scrolling down. So he did a wonderful job. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the last day. Wow.
Yes. Whew, how are you, Roland?
I'm good. I'm just back from a small break. I went to Greece for a bit. Spent
Greece?
a couple of days in Corfu.
What?
So yeah,
What?
Just nice.
Spontaneous?
Nice. Spontaneous. Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Oh, we had a great time. Beautiful sunsets, warm weather, nice sea. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And while here in Netherlands, everything is getting grayer and colder and wetter. It was a nice change.
Right. Darksyde says hi. Too bad I can't be with you guys. Yeah, Darksyde has to work today. So basically, the concept behind this was that I always need content, right, for my channel, and for some content I depend on others. So the most easy videos to make are basically my solo streams and my drink with brings, and the others I have to find panel members to do this with. It's a group effort, right? And sometimes it's difficult to find the right times to get everyone together at specific, because you want to have specific times every Sunday or every Saturday or whatever, right? It's very difficult sometimes. So we thought, how about, or I suggested, how about we just do this Dutch angle whenever we can. So whenever we can, so we let go of this Saturday time slot. And then we can record it, and then we put it up there whenever there's a slow week or something, you know. But even that was a little bit different. So now we're here with the both of us. I'm very happy that you wanted to do this, Roland.
Yeah, of course.
Because we both like movies, right?
We do.
So this was like, how about we do the Dutch angle reviews? So it's not the regular Dutch angle where we have one topic and we discuss the topic. This is actually about movies, and we all watch one movie and then we go into to talk about it together, right?
Yeah,
And we don't talk. So beforehand we had some rules, right? Beforehand we don't discuss the movie with each other, right?
No.
We just agree on this the movie we're going to discuss, and we won't talk about it until we are on the stream, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the rules. And another rule is that we start without spoilers. So the first part we try to avoid spoilers if we can, as much as possible. And when we go into spoiler territory, because we really want to review these movies, want to actually discuss them, right? So at some point we have to do the deep dive, but we will warn you guys. And then at the end we will decide: is this movie worth a watch? Was it worth it? That's basically the question, right? Okay. I think. Oh, I saw Aria.
Hi, Aria.
Hello, Aria. Welcome, sir. I think, Roland, you were the one who suggested this movie.
Yeah.
And my guess is that you liked it.
Well, that's a little bit thing. I did appeal to it. So can we say the movie title then? Is that a spoiler?
What, the movie final?
The movie title.
Yes, of course, the movie title.
I'm sorry, there's some drilling here going on. I don't know if you guys hear it. It's sometimes, but
Wow.
my apologies for that. We were both checking the Netflix suggestions or whatever.
Oh yeah, this is also something. Everything that we discuss has to be on Netflix because this is a platform we all have. I do not have Disney Plus. I'm not going to get the Disney Plus or HBO or whatever. I don't have Amazon. I don't give a shit. But I have Netflix, so this is the pool we can pick from. Yeah. And what was the movie, Roland?
So we went through some suggestions, and we wanted to have it fairly recently. And oh my god.
It kind of fits with the theme, this noise. Oh no!
I don't know if you guys are getting headache about it. I'm sorry. So again, we looked through the movies, and then I said, oh, why not this one? And it's an animation, so I immediately like, oh, animations.
Yeah.
And the style did at first really resembles Into the Spider-Verse. So I was kind of hooked.
It's called Entergalactic, by the way.
Yeah, the movie is called Entergalactic. And I watched it before, I think a week before, last week. And I suggested to Dave, let's start with this one. It's fairly new, it's animation. And I'm kind of curious what Dave would think of the movie as well.
Yeah, I just watched it, just now. So yeah. It's well, first off, to start off, it's very beautiful. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. It looks really pretty. It's very artistic. I was watching it and I was like, yeah, Roland is going to love this. Roland is going to view this from this animator angle, right? Like how they did this, and you had certain backgrounds that were very like painted. They actually looked painted, right? So like paint strokes, like they didn't draw every tree. You have this scene in this park, for instance, right? So characters are walking through the park, and you have in the background you have this row of trees with different colors, and instead of drawing every tree, it's just brush strokes. All the canopy, And that's really strange when you see it at first, but really fits within this animated atmosphere that they created. This entire city it takes place in, it looks beautiful. Everything looks
I
beautiful.
have I have some shots, stills from the movie. You can share, Dave.
Is this it?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I can't see the. I can't see
Because
what you're
I
sharing.
think you have the wrong I think you have the wrong screen.
All right, let me check. Let me try again.
If I can see it. Yeah, this is the wrong screen. But yeah, it looked pretty. So at first when it started, right, you start with chapter 1, and then you see this title. I forgot the titles. And then you go through the chapter. You get to know the main character. I thought his name was Jabrani.
Jabir, wait,
something like that. I forgot.
No, I may know. I may know. It's a Jabari.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get to know him, and then it moves over to chapter 2, and it starts with a different character that you saw in the first chapter. And I was like, all right. I thought I figured out what they were going to do. Right? It's like each chapter is a different character, and at some point you will see where their lives connected. I thought that was the route they were going with, but actually they didn't. Right?
Yeah.
So so that was so then the next chapter. You meet new people. Okay, my overall take, right, of this movie is, so because I don't really know what I can talk about without spoiling it, and it's a very light story. I thought it was very light. I actually was waiting for the substance to come in. I thought there was little to no story. Whatever there was very inconsequential. I didn't really care much. That's the thing. Also, I looked at all the pretty vistas and the animation, and I could really appreciate it. But story wise, it didn't grab me, which is
it's
a
a
shame.
kind of it is a kind of romantic feel good movie in a sense,
right?
And you have to be into that.
Yeah, probably, but even then, at some point I was thinking we were further along in the movie, and I was like, who is this made for? It's made for people who like animation, right? But it's not made for children. It's not really made for me either, although I love animation. Look, if this were a regular movie, just filmed, so not animated, I wouldn't even have bothered, because there's nothing there. The only draw, I think, in this movie is the artistic aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I see you were trying to get something to show us.
Yeah, I keep trying. So I put a lot of images now in a separate
right,
in a separate thing.
I have to keep talking.
Yeah, but I am listening. For me, it was like you said as well. The appeal was very nice, very beautiful art. I thought it was well animated, but you draw the in style wise the comparison quickly with Into the Spider-Verse, and I thought it was it didn't help the movie, to be honest. I know that the briefing of the director was a bit different. They just wanted to have a painting where you can step into. And then the animation studio in England, I think London, they went with it and they developed this style, and somehow it is beautiful, but it is very similar in style almost. Although Into the Spider-Verse nails it way better with in terms of animation and with terms of more playing with the halftone styles and the cross hatching. You see it a bit here as well, but it's less so. And to be honest, I kind of like feel good movies and romantic movies in a sense. Usually they're all the same, but this one didn't follow the stereotypical love movie. Of course, you have an up and down, and then they will come over the problems in the middle of the movies. That's not a spoiler. It usually works in most movies like that. But I needed time to get into the movie. To be honest, I think it took 1/3. It was
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it has potential. Let's stick with it, but it didn't grab me from the get go.
No, but this is what I was saying. I had the same feeling, but was because I was waiting for the story. So these were the setups. So we had the characters introduced, but not much happened. And I was like, okay, there has to be substance at some point. Things that get introduced now need to come back later, and suddenly you have this epiphany or whatever. And that really never happened. So I got a little bit bored actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can get that. I can get that. Although I like I said, I did stuck around, because there are some interesting characters, and I was thinking, why is this animated? Uh, but then they really had a nice way of telling flashbacks in different animation styles.
Yeah.
I love that. And the main guy, Jabiri, he's a kind of dreamer. And so what the movie is about, there's this graffiti artist, and he became a bit more popular than usually, and he gained a gig somewhere at a comic book publisher, and he's moving into a new apartment in New York City. And there he by chance meets his new neighbor, Meadow, and she's a photographer, and she's also becoming more successful in her field. And from there it develops, and then you have like the obnoxious ex that throws a wrench in their still growing love of getting to know each other. And it is about young people, not yet fully adult, but also not kids anymore. I think they're in the 25 age range, and they have trouble with letting new people into their lives or form romantic relations. So it's a bit about that.
Oh,
I did, yeah. Tell.
I feel you're putting more into it than I saw.
Yeah.
Like you're filling in certain characteristics, like they have trouble connecting or letting new people in, and I didn't really get that. By the way, good call explaining the movie, because next time we should start with that.
Yeah, this is all
so
new
we are
for
learning,
us.
guys. This is the first review we do. So
we don't know how to review movies.
right.
We just talk what's on top of our minds,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. So these elements that you mentioned, I didn't really get that. I thought it was all pretty shallow. I was like, I wanted to connect with these characters. I wanted to find something to click with these characters, like the main guy. Why should I care about this main guy, right? So I'm not sure if it's if it's possible to continue without actually spoiling. Although I must say there isn't much to spoil.
No, no,
There isn't this grand twist. There isn't. So everything that happens in the movie is very predictable. It is
I
just
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
really.
I thought the visually, like I said, the dreams he has when his mind is wandering away, or when he gets stoned, or the flashbacks his friends, or the stories his friends are telling him.
Mhm.
I like those twists, and
Yeah, not really twists, right?
there were not twists, but visually they are.
Right.
They went on a different animation style. For one example, there is this pregnant girlfriend from Meadow, and she has I think Asian boyfriend or white, I don't know. But he's fully into anime. So when she was telling how they met, you went into the full anime style.
Yeah,
So
that was fun.
I am sharing. It should be now correctly.
All right, let me
Sharing some screens of the animation. So this is the style. So it really looks very paintedly. It is clearly a 3D movie that tries to be a 2D hand drawn movie, and there are especially hand drawn aspects in it, as well as Into the Spider-Verse in the mimics in their faces. But it is 3D, and you see that with the movements as well. Although it's not bad animated. If I flip the tabs, oh, it doesn't work then. Okay, I need to share a new then.
Yeah, unless you have all the pictures in the same folder and you can browse through the folder, and we can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation style also it had this jittery style. You know, I'm not sure. Maybe you know what it's called. It's like not every frame is animated, so you see these characters a little bit jittery.
Yeah.
It's not distracting.
No, it's sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's less smooth. Here you really see the close up of his face, and this is full 3D. And sometimes I think, oh, how did they do this? Which parts are 2D, which parts are 3D in terms of shading? But that is, I don't know if that tells something about the story, but I was more sometimes concerned with the technique than with the story.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but it is a beautiful movie to see. This is what Dave was saying in the park with the trees just being hatched and drawn instead of looking very 3D, which I like, but it still blends in.
Yeah, it works. It's not detailed, but it just works. Everything is painted. It looks painted.
Yeah. I also like these space scenes where he was dreaming away and on his bike, and suddenly there was a comet going towards him, and then it was kind of obvious, but he would crash into something, but he just nearly missed the cab driver that was in real life speeding towards him. You have those things. I did like the structure of the story, though, putting in chapters.
All right.
You don't see that often. I did like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you would remove these chapter titles from the movie, if you would even notice, because I didn't feel like it really switched perspective. Or completely told something new, and I didn't really feel like every chapter was their own little story within the bigger story.
I also don't need if they were needed. I don't think they were needed, but it was kind of
it's
maybe nice what's coming up next. Otherwise, it would be a drag. Like we say, we're quite quickly bored as well.
No, I don't
and then
think
you have
I'm
new chapter.
Quickly.
Oh, maybe it starts anew, or maybe you will have a big move in the story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You perk up. Oh, new chapter. Maybe this time something's going to happen, and it's another boring chapter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Yeah, we can't hide it. It is what it is. It's a feel-good romantic story
Yeah.
about. I think prominent. Yeah, it is. It is about in prominently in the black culture, in a black community in New York. That's a thing in America. Apparently, it's always segregated. However, they will slice it. It has to be in a certain culture. This plays very much in Brooklyn. Um, I love the setting. Basically, I love the characters. I thought actually there were good characters, not bad actors.
No, the actors did a good job.
Yeah, and the voice actors did a good job. I don't think they chose voice actors just because of their names, because they're familiar or whatever or famous. They were chosen for the characters. Although
I have no idea who the voices,
yeah, I
who the
looked
voice
them up.
actors were. So I don't
I
know.
looked them up. The names doesn't say anything to me. Apparently, the main character, voiced by Jabani, voiced by Kid Cudi, is a rapper. I never heard of him.
All right.
And he coincidentally released a rap album of the same name, Entergalactic. And
Yeah.
it's
What's
also
the
his
title
project.
about? What's the title? I didn't get the title. Why is it called Intergalactic?
Yeah, kind of beats me because sometimes they go into space, but it's in the dreamlands. Maybe
Yeah.
of the both being dreamers, and they find each other in a sense,
Right.
trying to find themselves.
I was expecting a little bit to get something of a science fiction element. Never happened. So, but,
No, no.
by the way, guys, we don't know when we go into spoiler territory, so consider this point from now on spoilers. We're just going to talk about everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's a lot, like you said, a
No,
lot to spoil.
there's not much to spoil,
No.
so don't worry. But you are warned.
Yeah,
So what did you think about the character designs?
I thought they are on point. I thought they were very well handled. Um, they are beautiful people, to be honest, to look at. This is a Meadow, one of the other lead character, basically. And the first time he saw her, and the way how they treated visually, he was like immediately in love. He was seeing the most beautiful creature he ever saw, and they depicted this very, very visually appealing, and I fell in love with him on the girl, with the girl. So they did it very nicely, and I don't think, yeah, the annoying girlfriend, the annoying ex-girlfriend was annoying, but I think that's supposed to be,
Look, man.
you
Look,
shouldn't repeat for her. So yeah.
I have to be honest, man. I have to be honest. Jabari should have gotten together with Carmen. I like Carmen much better. Carmen had certain personality, and she was really into him, and I thought she looked better. So yeah, but hey, he wanted her.
I don't
He
think I
wanted
have a
Meadow.
Carmen here. No, I don't have her here. I need to look it up then.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she wasn't
there
bad
were.
as well, but she was, personally a bit obnoxious. As soon as she found out he was successful with his art, she wanted to get back to him. When she found out, oh, you have an apartment in this neighborhood. Oh yeah, so you must be earning money. Immediately
Right.
she wanted to get back to him.
By the way,
And he
what I
was kind
liked.
of simp in the beginning.
Yeah, by the way, what I liked was what that's another one of these little visual artistic elements they put through there was the first time Carmen gets introduced to the viewer. You have this FedEx
Yeah.
car vehicle, and he moves out of the way, and the word X remains, and you're like, okay, they have a history together. So that was
Yeah.
all we needed, right?
They could have done that more often. In the beginning, they introduced the characters in this way. And I really liked it. So he met this girl, or re-met the girl again. And in the background, like they said, there was this FedEx car in the background, and it drove away, and just the car took the F, but the X stayed there, and then you
Yeah.
really know, oh, this is the X.
Yes.
They didn't tell her by name, but that was very fun in the beginning, but they lost that. They could have done that more often. I expect it as well within the chapter sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of sets the tone. Okay, this is fun, you know. So yeah, when you set something like that up, then you expect it more often. Yeah.
Yeah, in that sense, not everything was constant or yeah.
Hello, Apex, by the way.
Hey, Apex.
Yeah. So let me see what else you had. Yeah, this art style is really cool. You had these
Yeah,
sequences where I
that was the
really,
amazing sequence when he was chased by his own art.
yes, that was fantastic. However, I didn't really get why they were in there. I At first you have one of these sequences, and these people are drinking, they're partying, they're on drugs, and then I'm like, okay, he's just tripping, you know. But later in the movie, these instances happen more often, and he's not drinking, he's not taking pills or whatever, and I'm like, what's going on now?
He's just dreaming, and I
Yeah,
think this instance was triggered by him when he was starting to work on this at this comic
right.
publisher, and there was this guy trying to be friendly, but although I thought he was a bit toxic in that sense, he said, "Yeah, they hired you for your art, but actually they want to numb down your art because it's too rough." And maybe
Mm.
it's too black, so it should be in white because
Yeah, why
and
didn't they hire him then? Huh?
yeah, so that's what Meadow was saying to him, to Jabari. So why would you think they hire you if they want to change your art? You should never
Yeah,
allow them to change your art for their monetization. And spoiler, in the end, of course, the Latin guy was proven wrong because his art was very popular, and the publisher used his art 101. But that's not the story at all. It's like a minor subplot somewhere.
yeah,
But for him, his art is very important, and he got a bit unconscious, or not unconscious, unself-assured
right.
with his talent or with his art, and by what he heard from this Latin co-worker. And then he got chased by his own art, and this is one of the scene of the sequences, and I thought
Right.
it was beautiful.
Yeah, the sequence was very pretty.
It did remind me on a short I saw one time that some artist was making graffiti art on the at the streets, and then all the graffiti art started to come to life, and it was chasing him, and the whole city that usually is very gray and dull became one big colorful city. It reminded me a bit of that. So it's a chase, but it's really beautiful done with
Mhm.
3D 2D combination, and I kind of like his stencil art in that sense.
Yes. David Feed, welcome.
Hey, David Feed,
Welcome, sir. Yes, like, please. And Shadowhawk Talks is here. Welcome.
welcome.
Congrats on a great launch. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. So yeah, we are discussing the movie Entergalactic right now. It's this animated feature on Netflix. I think, Roland, I got the feeling that you got more out of this movie than I did, because you talk about things, you mention things, and I'm like, yeah, this could be true what you're saying now, but I didn't really get that yet, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe I look too much into it. Could be.
Well, you could be right, you know, but if you're right, I think they did it too subtle. So
Yeah,
some
because
things
you
I
usually
didn't pick
you
up on.
yeah, usually you pick on these subtle meanings or things in the movie or messages, and but I think it's usually with animation things are very through. Why
Mhm.
do they have these dream sequences in between, and
Right.
why do they have everything every why you ask for a movie has an answer, because usually they tell themselves, why do we want this art? Why do we want this character to behave like this? Everything, why they want to be answered usually. And I was, of course, I did some research, not a lot. Who are the actors? A bit about the director. Scanned through an interview. Apparently, like I think I mentioned before, the lead actor, Jabir, the voice of Jabir, is a rapper, and it's also his project. This came from his mind, apparently. It's directed by somebody else, and they are all the people involved, as except the rapper, are not from New York, and so they also did a lot of research on via Google Street View to get New York right. And to point out where he would cycle, where they live, where their work is. So everything is pretty thought through. And so it is dedicated to one of his best friends, a fashion designer, I believe. And it's a depiction of young people, 20-somethings in New York, in a black neighborhood.
Yeah, it's maybe it's because this is apparently, as I learn right now, is that this is a vanity project of some sorts, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm like, these are people with basically little to no problems. They have the main character, he got a job by a company called Cosmic Comics, which I thought was something like Marvel, right?
Yeah, something like that. And immediately he has money. Immediately he moves up to a more expensive.
This nice penthouse in this gigantic skyscraper.
Yeah, nice view.
And then you have the neighbor, this meadow girl, and she's also this creative type, and she happens to have this exposition of her art soon. So everything is going their way. They have no troubles. You don't see this journey towards getting there. Usually there's a movie, they have this dream, there's a story, you have a dream, and you follow them through their quest to get there, but they're already there. They're already at the point, and we kind of meet them when they meet each other and fall in love. And then something stupid happened, and for some reason Meadow doesn't want to deal with him anymore.
Yeah, because it was a very nonsensical, stupid thing.
Yeah, I was like, just talk to each other like freaking adults. So the one problem they had, was self-inflicted. It could have been solved by just talking to each other.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's the thing. He tried, but C was like, I don't listen because you cheated, whatever. And but they were not even, they were dating, but they didn't even have a relationship yet, So it's also the standard how these people look at life or loyalty, or
Yeah, it's very self-absorbed also.
Yeah, in that sense it is. Yeah. There, except that what I said, it was the ex-girlfriend that threw, not even intentionally, unintentionally arranged in their still blossoming relationship, that doubted everything they were going to do forward. And there was actually only problem, they don't really have money problems.
No,
we don't even know their backstories. From him we kind of learned, but from Meadow I don't know what's her upbringing. Sometimes it would twinkle a bit through the characters. We learn sometimes more about their friends by their stories they were telling, how they stand in life instead of them.
Yes, this is true. It was all very shallow. David Feed says, does it end with an airport and the one of them realizing they really love the other and run to the airport? It is very cliche, and it's not directly that, but it's very similar. It has similar elements. You can tell that these people watched a lot of these movies and it got very, very inspired by it. And this last this last dramatic sequence, this little turn, right? It felt tacked on, like we need something to happen to get the viewer invested. Will they stick together? Will they come back together? And I just didn't care much.
There was not really a time limit, right? It was not really a time limit. I have to hurry before she catches
This is true.
the train or
No,
the
there was
flight.
nothing like that. It was
No.
It was the very basics of better stories. So better stories, you take all the good bits out, and you have the very basic premise. That was this story, and because it was painted, and probably because it was made by some rapper that we do not know, it got picked up by Netflix. I don't know, man.
I did like though how he revealed in nearly the end of the movie that he wanted to be with her, with the big piece of art he was making, and during her opening of her gallery.
Yes, there were.
It was a kind of punchline, of not punchline. How do you say? Climatic ending that where the seeds was laying before in the movie. So they did put some seeds in there, and it had a satisfying ending. And then okay, now it falls together, not in a very surprising way, but it was in a satisfying way. If you follow the story, you can get emotional from that. You can get, okay, maybe some people more than other people, but you can have okay, oh, it's nice. They love each other.
Yeah, that scene, that final sequence. You had a few emotional beats there, but I didn't really think it was earned. It was there because it's supposed to be there in this kind of story. It's just cliche, but it wasn't really earned because I wasn't that invested in the story, and I didn't really like this Meadow character either. The only good thing was that she loved vegan burgers. That was great.
So let's talk about that. Was this movie, in your view, woke, or were there any politics in there that you said, "Well, okay, this is
no."
Sometimes they have
surprisingly,
to put something in there.
Yeah, surprisingly, not really. I was scared of it in the beginning. I was like, "Oh, they're going to do something with it because you have this cast with non-white main protagonists." So there has to be something with this, right?
Strong female leads.
It's 2022. It has to happen, and it didn't happen. And I was like, oh, that's nice,
Are you sure?
Wait, Fred, I'm not done. And then this Meadow was introduced, and I was like, okay, I kind of like her. And then she brought the main guy to this vegan restaurant. I was like, yep, I totally like her now. And then later on, she messed it completely up when she said one word. Maybe you remember the scene. It's when she was fitting on these shoes. And then her girlfriend asked, "Why don't you ever date white guys?"
Yeah.
And all she said was oppression, And I was like, "Okay, I'm done with you."
That's what I'm referring to as well. It was like all white guys look alike. And,
that also.
So that in that sense, we immediately learn that her pool of guys she's interested in is based on skin color.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So that was a little. They can't help it sometimes. They can't help to jab it sometimes.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm not sure. Is there anything else of importance? There isn't much that I can think of that I really want to talk about. This movie didn't give me much.
I think
besides
we're already.
The art, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're already talking 30 minutes too long about the movie than it deserves. No, it does deserve love. I have to agree. I have to admit, it's a beautiful piece of canvas, basically.
Right.
The story is very shallow, very mellow, very warm and sweet. So if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend who doesn't matter, who likes, these very surface level movies, go give the spin. You will enjoy. I did it. I was triggered because of the art. I stuck to the movie because of the art, even though the first 20 minutes was too much build up in a sense. And the build up didn't really, in story wise, satisfy me. I kept watching the story because I was kind of or I was getting more invested in the characters. But that was it. That was it. I think it's a beautiful movie with an okay story, basically.
Right.
It's a
Okay, so
12
to
and a
end
dozen.
off, to you the question: was it worth it? Was the
For
movie
me,
worth
yeah,
it?
personally, for me, it was worth it to enjoy it and to see what yeah. But that's it. I wouldn't watch it again, or
Yeah,
I would refer it sometimes because it's a unique movie. You don't see these come by a lot
right.
in
Yes,
terms of style or animation.
right.
And in that sense, I would probably talk with my animation colleagues about, did you saw this movie? How did you like the style? But then it's more on a technical level than on a story level. Again, it's very beautiful. It's well made, beautiful animated. Um, yeah,
on a scale
yeah.
on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is awesome and 1 is woke, what one word would you rate it?
A six.
A 6, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not really woke. There's a few
No, it's not
woke
well.
elements, but it's not really. Yeah,
It's also not the message of the story. It's probably
no, no,
a character, and there are a lot of these people that have this in their mind. They live in this woke world. It is what it is, and but the movie is not woke at all.
no.
And I wouldn't say that one comment would make the movie woke. It's the focus is really about these two characters.
It didn't make it better. Let me tell you that,
No,
right?
it
So
wasn't.
yeah,
If you constantly see woke everywhere, then it's a bit distracting.
right, yes.
But
No,
if
but
you
it wasn't
don't,
that. It was actually that. So yeah, I thought it. I was a little bit let down. I hoped more. I had.
you had, but you had a science fiction mind. You
Yes,
went into
I
it.
I
Let's see
thought
the
with
science
the title,
fiction,
yeah, with the title, and I
the
saw
art.
these artwork with the amazing colors, and I'm like, okay, this has something to do with the dimensions or space or whatever,
Yeah,
you know. It never
yeah.
happened, and instead we got this very thin story about two 20 somethings meeting. And look, if you've never before in your entire life seen a movie or a animated piece, this will blow your mind. Okay, but if you have watched decades of romantic movies and you've seen things like Arcane, which has fantastic story, then this will leave you disappointed.
Well, I wouldn't say it's fair to compare this with Arcane. I
With a
also wouldn't
masterpiece,
say
yeah, okay.
it's fair to compare with Into the Spider-Verse, although that's a fairer comparison. You can't always compare apples and pears, and sometimes you like a kiwi to eat a kiwi, and even though you still can enjoy a banana,
Right.
you don't have to. If you're only into bananas, that's your favorite thing. Fine, but you will want to eat a kiwi anyway sometimes. So it's a bit about this. I love the heck out of Arcane, but I also have a very strong criticism about Arcane, especially the use of camera. And
Mm.
it's like it's shot by somebody who has Parkinson. It's really distracting and
Okay.
unnecessary. So that's one of my few things. And in that
Right.
sense, this movie is more stable.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's not to compare. I wouldn't say if you've seen Arcane and you like that you wouldn't like this one. you probably like this one as well if you're in a romantic mood.
Right. Okay.
And Dave went into it wrongly with his scientific mood. When he said it, I was okay, Dave. You will be in for a surprise.
Yeah, man. I was totally there. I had popcorn actually. I was like, yes, let's watch this animated sci-fi. And no.
But yeah, what we did agree not to say anything about the movie.
This is true. Yes.
I just put it forth, and because I was triggered by the art, I also didn't know about the movie before, and I started it. I think, all right, this is a bit different than I expected, but let's continue.
By the way, people in the chat, if you have a movie that you want us to review for the next time, please mention it. It has to be on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Sometimes the US Netflix has different movies than the Dutch
really?
Netflix.
Well, we can try.
But put in your suggestions anyway. We'll try to, if we can find a way to watch it here. We'll definitely try it via legal way.
Yeah, sure.
Probably, maybe.
Okay. Was it worth it? You say yes. Was it worth it? I say no.
It's a 6 minus.
Right.
Basically,
Okay.
1 out of 10.
All right. Let's remove.
But
this
not on a woke scale. It's just a movie scale.
Right. Okay, guys. Share the screen. Let me share this with you guys. The American Bliss Father's Pride is we launched yesterday. We are already 71% funded. So that's phenomenal. That's fantastic. Thank you all so much. So yeah, you can look at this. We have a nice cover. We have 2 covers. One from Pow, this one, and this is the main cover from Eric. So these will be printed. So this cover will be printed approximately the amount of backers that it gets, no more. And this one will be overprinted for later for conventions, for the store, for So yeah. Then you have this flag. We have this larger. It's like half a flag size, and with this print on it, you can get it. Also, yeah. So excellent stuff, and you can get actual original pages from Pow that he made for the Power Trip story of American Bliss. He's selling those, guys, so check it out. And you can also still back Perfect 10 issue 3. Yeah, so we're running 2 campaigns at the same time. It was never my intention, but things happened this way. So yeah,
it is what it is. It looks beautiful.
All right.
Any new streams coming up?
Yes, tonight in a few hours, a drink with Brink. With what was his name? Doesn't matter. Check it out. And some people have real names, and then they have like names that they use for social media, and it confuses me often. So I sometimes do not know which name matches with what. So rather not say. But you'll find out in a few hours. Well, Roland, thank you for doing the first the Dutch Angle reviews. Yes.
I hope it was a kind of unexpected review as well for all your audiences. It kind of has a connection with what we love and also a bit different. But yeah, do give us your suggestions and we'll look into it.
Well, David Feed has a suggestion: Vampire Hunter D, the first movie. All right, is that on Netflix? Yeah.
We'll find.
We can try and find it. Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the suggestion. Thanks. David. And this was it then for today. So thank you. This was the first episode of the Dutch Angle reviews. I think we can do this again, Roland. Yeah.
Maybe better prepared.
I liked it. Yeah. We need to get into it, guys. I need to find out. Is the logo? Should I make a new logo and stuff like that? And how do we format the actual stream? And sometimes maybe we won't even be live. So it all depends on a few factors. So yeah.
But give your opinions, give your suggestions if you want to how we can make it better.
Right. Make the world a better place. Okay, Roland, thank you. Chat, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.